Okay, it is December the 14th. It's been about a week or two since we put a video out from our last event as such, which was a 10-mile canicross race with Bryn. And if you haven't watched that video, go check it out now.
We'll shout out and let you know which side they are overtaking.
It's this time of year we tend to reflect and have a look back over the year and think about new goals and stuff for the coming years, etc. Like most people, I'm no different. I wanted to take this opportunity to sort of reflect on YouTube in particular. So we started the channel now just over 2 years ago. If you don't know, we started the channel by accident to some degree, in the sense of we never deliberately thought, let's make a YouTube channel and document certain things. But Amy filmed a fair bit of IRONMAN Wales in 2022 and wanted to put a video together that captured that and therefore kind of internalized it so that we could watch it whenever we liked. And I gave a bit of a boring chat, debrief of the race, sat down in my armchair downstairs. And from then onwards, the YouTube channel kind of grew from that. I strangely enjoyed doing it. I tend to be a relatively private person and keep friendship circles and whatnot relatively small. But over the last 2 years, for those that have been here for that period of time, will have seen lots of content, lots of openness, and sort of letting people in on my life and Amy's and our life that we have together. I don't believe we've broke the rules of the channel. Unfortunately, a lot of the footage in the early months we lost on a hard drive that got corrupted in the early days, so I can't drop clips in from that unless I went and screen grabbed them from the YouTube videos that are on the channel. But effectively, my sort of non-negotiables with Amy were that there'd be no BS. So we'd say it how it is. We wouldn't make videos for the sake of videos. So a lot of people spoke about getting a weekly video, a daily video, or kind of a rhythm to your channel. And although at times we have followed that, and naturally reporting on your training on a weekly basis follows that to some degree, we certainly, I don't believe, have got into the trap of trying to churn content for the sake of it. And lastly, no consistent begging for like and subscriptions. I think the worst we got was when we were approaching 1,000 subscribers for obvious reasons. It's a big milestone. But yeah, we don't tend to plug the channel or what we're doing as much as maybe we should or could do. And it is here for those who want to watch it. And if you don't want to watch it, there's plenty of other stuff you can go and do. The reason this video is taking a little bit longer to make is I wanted to kind of not double down on YouTube, but I wanted to make some significant upgrades. And the first was I wanted to create a space, which is my office as such, for doing videos like this, where I was reporting on, chatting through races, training, maybe screen sharing things, etc. within the video. But there was a consistent space where I had a setup where the sound was good and more importantly, the lighting was good. So maybe I'll take the photo now. How about that? If I can drop a photo in here. This is the current setup that I have orchestrated with an influencer ring light. I never thought I'd be one of those people that bought one of those. And I currently have the GoPro set up on it. We have got this Sony camera that Amy's got that I'm going to try and figure out how to vlog with. It's not the Sony vlogging one. But we might be able to do some better things with blurring backgrounds and whatnot in the production element of it. And we've obviously invested in microphones and all those sorts of things. So that's the plan in the sense of changing some things and sort of upgrading the channel, shall we say. What's next in terms of the content on YouTube? So I've got 4 or 5 videos in mind, some of which I've filmed lots of, some of which I've filmed none of yet. And in no particular order, although I do think I'll do the first one next, is I'm going to do a video about optimal endurance and more importantly, how I got into coaching. A couple of people have asked me this recently, either because they're thinking about doing it and or are interested in how the business is set up. I'm planning on being relatively open with that and talking through how we've got to where we are, and I'm looking forward to putting that together. I have an idea of a video to document. So this year is already, and there's still some days left in it, my biggest year of running yet. And touch wood, for the last 3 years, although I've had weeks here or there with a slight niggle, I haven't had what I would call an injury. And I've basically run relatively consistently throughout. And I've got some tips and tricks. We'll do sort of 5 things that help me achieve that, and they may be of use to yourselves. We're going to document my prep for the first 70.3 of the season, which is going to be in Oman at the start of February. I have now thankfully pressed paid and entered, because like many races, that's sold out recently. And the video that we have done a fair bit of work on, albeit not necessarily edited, but I filmed a lot of, is my first impressions of the Zwift bike. So we've paid for one with our own money. We did it to upgrade our training room, etc. And you may be interested to hear if it's any good or not. So those are some of the videos that we've been suggested to do, or I've come up with. If you have any recommendations, or there's anything you would like me to review or talk about, etc., then please drop it in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. Okay, so while we're here then, I will catch you up on what's been going on and talk about what's next in the coming weeks. So the last video we did was a Canicross race with Bryn, a 10-mile race run by Active Training World up at Grafham Water, and we had a solid hour hit out there and came away with a win, which was all good. However, that race pretty much ended any productive training for me for the next week. My legs in particular were absolutely smashed afterwards. Genuinely more sore than any race this year or any race I can remember doing. I struggled to walk up and down the stairs for a couple of days, and just demonstrated to me the strength I've lost, the lack of conditioning and all those types of things. I did manage to sort of jump on the bike and spin my legs and sort of promote some active recovery for the first few days. But I only managed to run once that week, which was the following weekend. Almost had a week off running, and I managed to do a run with Amy and Bryn down in Devon, and that was it. So some of the sessions I had planned, that was going to be the week I was going to accelerate my training. As such, I needed to tweak and amend. I've entered IRONMAN Oman, the 70.3, on the 8th of March. That is 55 days away, just under 8 weeks. So I've got 8 weeks to get fit effectively. I have just done a 6x1K threshold run. I use inverted commas as I sort of built each rep. So probably started at a tempo-y type of effort and built up to pretty much a threshold run. Training is now happening. I don't intend to tell you about every session, blow by blow accounts necessarily here. So if you do want to see what I'm doing, everything is public on Strava and there is a link below. The next thing, which has been a bit of a curveball, is we went down to Devon last weekend to visit my mother, and a hotel, which my mum actually got married in about 5 years ago, is on the market. It's called the Edgemoor Hotel. It's an 11-bed hotel with some extra property on the estate. I have been putting some serious effort into working out if we could afford it, and turning it into what would be Optimal Endurance's headquarters and sort of training facility and a training centre, etc. It's a bit of a pie in the sky idea. It's certainly a very expensive thing to do, but we've got some accounts. We're putting together a business plan. I'm going to pitch to some investors and some mortgage brokers soon. And if it's still on the market, it has been on the market for a little while. We might try and make that work, but it's a big maybe. I'm in the process of launching a new side to the business, which is the Optimal Endurance Club. I'm going to talk about more of this in the coaching video, but in a nutshell, I want to grow the team and I want to have as many people as I can racing for us and being part of our kind of community. And this gives the opportunity for those that may be new to the sport, those that don't want to be fully one-to-one coached, those that are sort of making their own way but want a little bit of structure in their training and some guidance from coaches. It's almost perfect for them. It's cheap and cheerful. They get to get lots of the benefits that our athletes do, and then we can sort of build from that. And lastly, those that do follow me on Instagram will have seen, albeit it's archived now, a post about me being fairly frustrated with my 9 to 5. For obvious reasons, I can't go into a lot of detail, some of which is because a lot of my colleagues watch and follow me, and I don't wish to upset them. I am anticipating making some quite big changes in the next 3 to 6 months, as the current scenario is certainly not sustainable and good for me personally and my mental health, etc. And so something has to change. So what's next? We're gonna hit the big green button on training and capitalize over the next few weeks. In particular, it's the festive period. There's some extra days off there around the Christmas time. Gonna get some extra volume in. Gonna enjoy some training and get the wheels fully in motion to sort of seeing what fitness looks like heading towards Oman. I need to get my TT bike. I built it this week and took it down to Harpenden Cycles for a bit of a checkup. I did, for those that followed, had some power meter issues in Kona, which I need to solve. But effectively, the bike is now built and usable on the turbo trainer, etc. So I need to start, practicing in the TT position and whatnot. And as I mentioned sort of above, although I've launched the club element of optimal endurance, that starts hopefully at the start of January for a lot of people. So need to get that all set up, and got lots of advertising to do and promotions, etc. So that's it. That concludes this video. Hopefully there won't be too much of this without some clips and film and stuff to break it up. But that's the plan. Follow along if you wish, and let's get to it. Cheers.